Other times, spirit faces were coming towards us.
The Anunnaki explained that humans were genetically engineered by them to accelerate their evolution.
Did I ever do to you that you would draw that picture of me?
So they saw the toilet, and they're scared it's theirs.
Because now you're changing the dynamics of how things are discussed.
Welcome back everyone to another creepy TikTok compilation, and I hope you're all keeping safe and well and that you're having a great week so far. Again, I am still really busy, but I should be able to come back to like 3 or 4 videos a week pretty soon. But let's go ahead and dive in and see what kind of madness is happening in the world today.
Have you seen this video? The 9 pillars of light were captured on camera, and this is what the government's not showing us. Just take a look at this. So this is the actual footage in Japan of when the 9 pillars of light, but nobody knows what this light coming down from the sky is. What is it?
So I looked this up in more detail, and it says here that the lights are actually reflections of offshore fishing vessel lights. It says that the light is refracted into the clouds and is only seen once every few years, according to Masi-san. So the phenomenon is actually called Isaribi Koshu, so make of that as you will.
This is Ireland's abandoned Asylum X. It was built in the 1830s as a lunatic asylum and, like most, has an extremely dark past. Family members could claim you were insane and you would be thrown in here with no questions. If they passed away while you were in here, you'd be stuck here for life. Overcrowding caused the mistreatment of patients. Most people who were admitted spent their whole life here. It closed in 2013 and just let the remaining patients leave. A lot of them didn't make it. The asylum has been abandoned ever since, with its haunting corridors slowly decaying.
It's crazy to think that people were thrown into asylums, no questions asked. And then you look at today's society, you look at the world, you look at the world leaders and the nutters that are just running around the place generally, and you think to yourself, you know what, it wasn't really a bad thing in what they were doing. It's just unfortunate that they were, 200 years too early.
Come and take the 7th shot, the 7th shot. This a little luck you get. Oh! Myocarditis.
This is mostly true except for the UK, but it has been fact-checked by Snopes.com. But in the UK, McDonald's uses McCain's, and McCain's uses over 110 different British suppliers, but they also exclaim on their site that they are GMO free. Either way, I still wouldn't eat McDonald's fries.
Hablan, sí. Yemen na truck sa.
Those wheels should definitely not be anywhere near that sinkhole, that's for sure. But I couldn't help but think of that film 300.
This is Sparta!
world is a stage and they will do anything to push that false narrative and propaganda. And honestly, since he stepped his foot on that carpet, not only has America crumbled to pieces, but the whole world with it.
That is supposed to be me, Urs. What did I ever do to you that you would draw that picture of me?
Everything.
Super times for all. No danger about. In fact, let me tell you, if you don't work in a hospital, you really are missing something. In fact, you're missing everything.
That look he gave after saying everything just tells you all you need to know about him.
I saw that video showing the comments in TikTok are different.
Exactly. I think it's Instagram. Was doing it with her boyfriend, and they
Yeah.
were both looking at the same thing, but they had different comments.
Yeah. It's a
Comments were mocking the man, and the comments on his side was mocking the woman.
Yes. Whenever I'm looking at comments, I make the idiot mistake of thinking this represents some consensus that, you know, but actually, no, you're just looking at the algorithm serving the comments and the content. That is so up.
The comments are supposed to be a conversation about the thing. So if you're curating the conversation in an unnatural way, like that's very different than showing me what I want to see.
Yes.
Because now you're changing the dynamics of how things are discussed.
Yes, sir. That's the evil right there. That's the evil.
That's crazy.
The other assumption with the algorithm is that the algorithm is just like random, or it's using some set of variables and serving things up. But this is an idiot assumption. I mean, you could, if you are controlling comments, then that means like, all right, let's just like make people mad at each other. Let's make people completely pissed at each other as much as possible. Convey this idea that there's like these massive divides between us. And then they're going to fight each other instead of recognizing they're pretty much the same.
From a psychological standpoint, this is quite concerning. I mean, the psychological impact that this would have on a community such as what we have, you know, just your online interactions in general, the fact that there could be a bias pushed, a narrative pushed, almost like psychological propaganda online, spells really bad times, to be honest. But in terms of my channel, a lot of you guys have said in the past, and even today, say that your comments are being removed or deleted. And I've had so many of you guys saying that every time you return back, you are finding out that you have unsubscribed and you haven't, and you are resubscribing like 3 or 4 times. I mean, it looks a little bit too cartoonish for me, to be honest, but, you know, Leviathan's real. I mean, you know, Psalm 74:14.
Have to sauna on a regular basis. Saunas are now a household necessity, and it is no longer a choice as to whether you want to do them or not. You must do them or you will be sick. We're now over the top and toxic load, hundreds and hundreds of toxins, all bioaccumulating in our bodies, and getting up to concentrations where they are so screwing up cell function that we're all getting sick from them. The only way we know how to reliably get rid of these oil-soluble toxins is with a sauna.
I have heard that saunas are good for the skin and for the rest of your organs as well as sleep, but it's something I've never tried myself.
The serpent is depicted as an object of worship by many ancient tribes and is mentioned in religious texts such as the Bible and the myths of the Egyptians and Incas. In the Bible, the serpent is often portrayed negatively, particularly in the story of the Garden of Eden, where it is depicted as an evil being that tempts Eve. According to some researchers, the Anunnaki, non-human creatures, claim to be an ancient race of being that evolved on Nibiru millions of years ago. This alien race is said to have been involved directly in the creation of humans through genetic manipulation, not as gods or evil beings, but as advanced beings with superior abilities like telepathy and telekinesis. The Anunnaki explain that humans were genetically engineered by them to accelerate their evolution. Their use of serpent symbolism has been misinterpreted and twisted throughout the ages, painted as the symbol of evil incarnate. The serpent's depiction as evil in the Bible is considered a misconception by the Anunnaki, suggesting a more complex relationship between humans and the alien race. The Anunnaki possess advanced knowledge and abilities, often misunderstood or feared by humans. They are depicted as beings with superior intelligence and capabilities, which have led to their portrayal as both gods and demons in human mythology. The Anunnaki had many interactions with early human civilizations, influencing their development and being worshipped or feared as deities. Their involvement in the creation and evolution of humans places them as significant figures in the speculative history of mankind. In various cultures, the serpent is a symbol of power, wisdom, and sometimes rebirth or immortality, reflecting the complex nature of the Anunnaki race's depiction.
Humans were genetically engineered by the Anunnaki to accelerate their evolution. I mean, how's that going for them? So apparently this happened back in 2021 when a journalist alerted a lot of people to check out the live webcam that was facing the White House, and the DUMS tunnel was blowing up, and from the underground tunnels under the White House, apparently a lot of children were rescued from it, but that's all I know. I just hope that all the wee ones were saved and rescued and brought back to their homes.
Al Jazeera had the balls to go undercover at a Boeing facility, and what they found is shocking. The journalist asked the employees there whether they were ready to fly on the planes they were assembling themselves. Watch.
Did you fly one? No. You won't fly one.
Workers went on to say that the management turns a blind eye to 90% of production problems, and many of the workers are on drugs.
It's all coke and, painkillers.
And amazingly, 15 of the workers that he talked to, 10 of them said they were not even ready to fly, even though these craft are considered finished.
If you didn't have a fear of flying before, well, you might just have a fear of flying now.
Information now also on the plane crash. KTVU has just learned the names of the 4 pilots who were on board the flight. They are Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Li Fook, and Bang Ding Ao. The NTSB has confirmed these are the names of the pilots on board Flight 214 when it crashed. We are working to determine exactly what roles each of them played during the landing.
No, but honestly, go ahead and check out Redacted if you haven't. They're on YouTube and they're really good at what they do.
This is what caught my eye. Man, look at those lakes. Look familiar, don't they? That's right.
It's just the rest of my family's in the Finger Lakes right now. I'm supposed to be in the Finger Lakes right now. I told him I was on a hike, snuck away to do this interview. I gotta get back pretty soon, don't worry. People disappear in the Finger Lakes. People disappear in the Finger Lakes.
People going missing by Finger Lakes, which Hunter Biden coincidentally has a tattoo of on his back.
Hunter's not going to have a tattoo like that on his back for the crack. You know, apparently within Fingers Lake, there's a lot of tunnels where wee ones tend to get snatched, and apparently Jim Carrey is part of that as well.
No!
Oh my god. The witch!
For the witch.
Look at this!
No, guys.
Oh my god. No. The witch! She just shouted something.
What?
She shouted.
Can I
Where's
Icicles.
I'll let you guys come to your own conclusions with this one, but for me, if I was to intimidate someone, I definitely wouldn't be approaching them walking like I have two big TVs under my arms.
They will be more convincing females than they are at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a strange thing to do, you know, for just normal people like us. We just think, why would anybody want to change their gender or pull out, you know, try to do this deception? Yeah. And now, do you think it's something they have to do to please their gods, right? Their master?
I think it is. I think it's part of this cult, club, society. You know, Mrs. Thatcher made a famous remark years back. She was one, and she spoke about a certain person who was getting above a station, and she was saying, he is not one of us. Mm. And, you know, at the time you would tend to think, well, they're speaking only of the power elite. But now that we have a different coloration on that now, because we see it could possibly mean that he wasn't a member of this club. I think the Mitfords used to have a term, you and non-you. Ah. The you being us, and of course the non-you being the rabble. And if you're one of us, then of course there must be some physical evidence that you have joined this club. Now, I don't think all of the males have to do it, or even all of the females, but I do. It is quite obvious, the more I study this, these people hate natural women.
Yeah. Yeah.
They hate natural childbirth, they hate natural marriage, they hate natural families.
Yes.
I know I've said this before, but we really do live in a clown world, and it's not surprising in the slightest that these people hate natural things. I mean, just look at the way society is now, and that just tells you the full story.
Can someone explain how these restaurants are still operating? This is a lunchtime on a Thursday, and every restaurant or shop is pretty much empty. Yet the rent here will be at least £20,000 to £25,000 for a size of this per month. Some don't even bother opening at lunchtime or have closed down permanently, which is sad to see. And yes, working from home is partly to blame, but also extortionate rent prices that have not taken into consideration the footfall. This is the new F1 arcade in London, empty. But such a big venue. So how are they sustaining this? And if they are, how long can they sustain this for? Because it doesn't look like the footfall will be increasing anytime soon. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Restaurants generally make most of their money during the evenings and weekends, but again, £20,000 to £25,000 a month in rent is ridiculous. And then if you factor that in with the cost of living crisis, you can see why it will be difficult for businesses to stay afloat. But then again, you have to take into consideration that there's businesses that have opened for the sole purpose of washing money. It makes you wonder what tap water looks like under the microscope. just seen a comment there that said it could be some sort of geographical mapping technology, and it could be right, to be fair.
It's a TikTok of people that went to an Airbnb. I don't know if you guys seen this. This is going viral right now.
Oh, the fake one? Toilet?
Yeah, the one with the toilet.
Oh,
They were scrolling through the channels on their TV at the Airbnb, and then one of the channels was a toilet cam. So they saw this. What is that? Is that ours? So they saw the toilet, and they're scared it's theirs. Check this out. The lady goes to go check it out and see if it's actually theirs, and look what happens. It's her. It's her. She pops up on the camera. No. So the Airbnb set up a camera to look at the toilet, fam. And the crazy part is, this is dead ass real. Like, this isn't even fake. Look. They looked at the vents and everything. It's all there. So what they did, they ended up canceling that Airbnb and then going to a new one because that was legit them spying on them.
You can never trust nowadays, bro.
You should never have to book a stay, whether it's an Airbnb, a hotel, or whatever it is, with the worries of thinking that you're being spied on, that your family's being spied on by some hidden cameras. I mean, there's some proper creeps out there. Like
in the Quran, chapter number 9, verse number 29, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders the Muslims to kill the Christians, Jews, and if they do not surrender, then they have to pay jizya. Jizya is basically protection money.
It doesn't matter if you are an Islamic or an atheist, a Buddhist or an agnostic, whatever you may be. Coming into this country, no problem. That's not an issue at all. I respect your beliefs, just like you should respect mine as a Christian. But when you're coming over to this country with the sole intentions of destroying Christian values and slaughtering Christians, there's going to be a real problem there.
I heard Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, that the dwarves are really your mood swings when you're coming off of coke.
Really? Yeah.
And you have Snow White and you have grumpy and angry and sleepy.
You hit all the flavors.
All these things. That's what so, movies have sometimes a sinister.
Steiny's like, holy
a sinister adults make cartoons, so you got to be careful.
A lot of those classics, I feel like, though, there's always those like deeper messages that people miss.
Always.
Even like with SpongeBob, I've heard a bunch of theories. And SpongeBob came out too, right?
Came out where?
He came out as like gay too.
I don't know.
No, but he did. No, but what I'm saying is like there's a lot of hidden messages in that show. Apparently, they're like way dirtier and raunchier. But yeah, I don't know how deep you want to get into it. I used to see all these like YouTube videos, like Disney has all these like really weird stuff like that. Like,
yeah, that's
just a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, Patrick. I just want to tell you, Patrick, that me and Gary, we're gay now. Tell me, Patrick, would you like to stick it up the bum?
You see, if anyone ever approaches me and asks me what my pronouns are, I'm just going to tell them that I identify as like a nervous system and then just see what their expressions are.
They were told to set up a video camera in the darkened cellar and aim it into a pair of mirrors so that it could see only its own viewfinder. While it was recording, nothing unusual was seen. But when the tape was played back, these remarkable images had mysteriously appeared.
Other times, spirit faces were coming towards us.
Needless to say, it is impossible that video feedback was responsible for these images. As to what some of these extraordinary pictures represent, we can only guess, since their meaning was never explained to the Skoll group. This is another equally enigmatic video. It appears to be part of a strange face with moving eyes. We spoke to Dr. Scher at his home in Switzerland.
There's absolutely no possibility that this film could have been prepared before, because I selected one of the video films which was in its original packaging, which I opened, I took the film out, I signed the film, video camera.
At a later time, a few video experiments were attempted in full light. Once again, nothing unusual was seen during the recording. However, on playback, this appeared. In November 1999, the three principal investigators published their conclusions in the SBR's official proceedings. This extensive volume is now known as the Skoll Report.
If you take all the phenomena within the whole of the Skoll experiment over 2 years while we were there, I would say that the possibility of fraud and faking was nil.
I don't know how true that experiment was, and I do want to believe in it, but the whole alien thing kind of took me off there for a quick second. But having said that, we do know that mirrors are portals to the spiritual realm, and the 18th and 19th century has showed that as well, so I do think there is some truth to this, but we would definitely need to look into the experiment more, and maybe see the documentary in more detail as well. That's all I have for you today, guys, and thanks everyone for staying with me till the end. If you enjoyed the compilation, smash that like button and subscribe button so we can hit that 25,000 subscriber goal. And again, apologies for the lack of uploads over the past few weeks. I am hoping to be back to normal from Monday onwards, but it's just been extremely busy, and as you can probably see, I'm exhausted at this point. But everyone, thank you for your support as well, and until the next video, look after yourselves, stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see you then.
What happened? Man, you dented the fuck out of your truck. Oh. Do you need me to call an ambulance? No. What did you do? I fell. Well, I know you fell.
Oh, she was super drowning. Oh, she looks like drunk.